but I'm also, going to demand it out of you when you're not getting it done. And I'm going to show you examples of guys who are getting it done. And we grade every day. So we make sure they understand, man, that every rep matters, and we got to get better.
Coach Tyler Davis, what impressed you the most about him back in the spring? What do you want to see him improve on?
I tell you what, his mindset, coming in, just the way he went to work and rolled up his sleeves and just grinded, man, and even the work that he put in it even before getting here. We sent install sheets out, and he knew most of the plays before he even got here. So that's a tribute to him and the work that he put in outside of it. Just understanding protection. I want to see him grow in that department, and he's grown. I've kept good tabs on him over the summer with the drills that we've done and that Niles has led and Jordan has led, showing him the key things that they see to help them recognize. Because a big part of defensive line is the block recognition, protection recognition, and things of that nature and how you play them. So he's grown already in that. I just want to see him take that next step. I've challenged him. I was like, man, you came in and you worked your butt off. I challenged him to make another jump between, the end of camp.
Obviously, he has a big opportunity to make an impact right away. What are your expectations for him going into his freshman season?
Man, I tell you, I just want to see him max out his potential. I want to see him be the best that he can be, and I want to see him, grow into if whatever that role looks like for him. Be it a backup or a starter, whatever it is, whatever he earns, he understands that the best player is going to play. The whole groups know that. They know that the best player is going to play. So I want to see him just be his best, man, and get better every week.
Coach, the guy that you got gifted last year, Xavier Kelly, drops down into your group. Got a lot of weight, over 300-pound threshold now. Mm-hmm. What do you see for Xavier Kelly coming up this year? He seems to be a guy not too many people are talking about. That has a lot of athleticism and a lot of potential in that group.
He does, man. He has a lot. He's really worked hard. It's been really good to see him attack, because that's where he's had to grow. At the point of attack, and you can do that. One of two ways: putting on the mass that you need and getting stronger in the weight room. He's done both over the summer. He's done everything that I ask of him. Now he just needs to have a great camp. So, he's got an opportunity right there in front of him that he's got to reach out and grab and hold on to with both hands and really want it. And he can really help us. So I'm looking forward to him, seizing the moment on his opportunity.
Can you walk us through the first time you ever met Coach Sweeney and how you getting on the staff sort of came to be?
Oh, man. First time that I met Coach Sweeney was actually in 2007. Okay, I was at Talladega High School, my first coaching job, and one of my teammates had passed away to a rare form of cancer, and Coach Sweeney was speaking at the funeral. So I stuck around after the funeral. Victor Ellis is the teammate. He played with me at Alabama. He was a starting Sam. I was a backup Sam linebacker coming in, and he's the first one to put his arms around me as a young freshman. And he reminded me, believe it or not, of Christian Wilkins. He had a smile that lit up the room, and Coach Sweeney actually recruited him. And Coach Sweeney was gone by the time I got to Alabama as a player. And he spoke at that funeral. I stuck around and shook his hand, me and my wife. And that was my first time meeting him. Okay. And then, 6 months later, I get a job at Oxford High School. And around that same time, I think he was named as the interim head coach. And my cousin, Antoine McLean, I was coaching at Oxford High School then, and Antoine was right up the road at the rival high school of Anniston High School, and I used to go get him and have him work against my D line. I had 4 D linemen at the time that ended up playing D1 football. Okay. So we didn't have any offensive linemen at the time that could challenge them. So I go get my little big cousin Antoine, and I say, "Hey man, you fish can get about 25 reps." I said, and I put him through pass pro, and Coach Sweeney came by the school and was recruiting one day. And I just remember stepping out of the weight room and telling him, I said, "Hey, man, and this is before he got announced as the interim. I said, man, one day you're going to be, head coach. Don't forget a brother." And I was just joking with him then. And I'm talking about, I don't know exactly how much time passed, but he was named the interim coach. And then he kept a speaking engagement, which was right there in Oxford, Alabama, at the Pigskin Roundup, which highlighted all the all-stars in the area of football, and he spoke at that. I went to it, of course, and I recorded it. My wife worked at it was playing on the local TV stations there. My wife recorded it, and I put his story into poetry, and I named it No Excuses, because if you look at his life and you see where he came from, and all the things that he's been able to accomplish, that should be an inspiration to everybody, man. That if you really want something, you really got a dream deep down inside of you, and you go after it with everything in you, you can achieve it. And of course, I stayed after that and shook his hand after he spoke. But my wife designed the poem that I wrote, and she mailed it to him. And he got it, and it's still in his office to this day. And he invited me to come up and work his camp. And I worked camp from there, and you never know, man, who's watching you or the opportunity that you're going to have. So that's why you make sure we tell our players every play is important, everything matters. I just think that looking back on my story and my journey, that's a living testament of that. I could have came up here and worked camp and been on vacation, you know, and just using it as a networking tool. But I used it to come up here and pour into whatever, you know, whoever the good Lord put in my path, and try to do the best job I can. Listen to Coach Brooks and see what he wanted out of his drill, and just do it with everything in me. And that ended up paying off. Coach Brooks told him that I was one of the best ones here coaching D-line, and you know, the rest is history. Coach Brooks retires after the national championship game, and I can't tell y'all who I was cheering for that game. I was at Jacksonville State, and 2 weeks later after that game, you know, Clemson came out victorious that game, man, and I get the call from Coach Sweeney, and the rest is history, man. But I tell you what, it's a lot more that goes into it that I won't get into, but it's a blessing, and I don't take it for granted, man. This is a great place, and the culture Coach Sweeney's built, it's just great to be a part of, man, and to try to further it and take it, you know, even to another level, man.
Speaking of that, what was it like watching his vision?
Say what now?
What was it like watching his vision become reality?
Oh, man, I tell you what, it's just special. It's like a movie almost. It's like a movie. I think one day it's going to be a movie. And a lot of things that you listen to Coach Sweeney say comes to pass, man. And you see these kids that we're bringing in. You get a chance to watch them like your own kids go from boys to men. And you get to see them come back, and they got the same joy in their heart. They want to be around you. That's how you know that you're doing it the right way. And you have all these guys come back, man, and want to be a part of it. So I just think that's special.
Going off that too, he's got so many famous sayings and phrases. Do you have a favorite Daboism?
Favorite Daboism? Man, he's got so many good ones. I love right is right. Wrong is wrong, even if nobody does it. Right is right. Hold on. Right is right, even if nobody does it. And wrong is wrong, even if everybody does it. I love that one. Another one that I would say is there's no traffic jams on the extra mile. That one always gets me going. Like when I think about every day I have a to-do list that I want to get done on my own plate, and I get started with it pretty early. And when I get down to that last task, I always kind of end up adding an extra one or seeing what 2 things can I do extra because I think of that quote. And that's what he does, man. He inspires you to be better. I told somebody one time, like they asked me in one sentence, tell me, who would you say Coach Sweeney is? I would say that he's like a special occasion. He brings people together. And he's always pouring into everybody, not just the players, and teaching. He's always teaching you. So, you know, recruiting is one thing, but development is a whole nother thing. And our guys leave here as full-grown men.
How do you respond to people who say Clemson versus Alabama, their is becoming old?
Say what?
Clemson versus Alabama is becoming old.
Oh man, I just say, man, that you know you watch the Lakers versus Celtics back in the day. You watch, you know, the Bulls versus whoever. You watch. You know, the best of the best, they're always going to rise to the top. And I just think right now, we're 2 of the best programs. I know that there are other great programs out there, but I look forward to it. It's been fun. And I know our guys, they look forward to it because that's what you work to do. They're out there right now running in over 100-degree heat, and it's to have a chance to be the best. And a lot of times, man, to be the best, you got to play the other team that's also wanting to be the best. And that's just been Alabama and Clemson over the last few years. Oh, man, just looking to get him. He's done a great job of just getting, engulfed in our culture here and getting used to, and acclimated to things that, freshmen have to do as far as going to a college course and classes and managing a workload of a student athlete. So I'm looking forward to just seeing him do all that, and he's done a great job so far. And he's been plugged into our playbook, and you're just seeing where he's at. I'm looking forward to seeing where he's at and evaluating to see if he can help us this year.